Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a little chick named Tycho. Now, Tycho wasn't any ordinary chick. Oh. Oh no. He was a curious and energetic ball of sunshine. Just like his favorite color, yellow, he loved asking questions about everything and everyone around him. But most of all, he had an insatiable curiosity about the world beyond his little farm. One day, while gazing at the fluffy white clouds drifting past overhead, Tycho confided in his mother, "Oh, Mama, I wish I could join those clouds and travel to far-off lands." His mother, a wise and loving hen, clucked softly one day, "My little chick, you will spread your wings and fly to wherever your heart desires." Her words were like honey to Tycho, sweet and encouraging. And deep down, he knew she was right. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, there was a young elephant named Mavi. Mavi wasn't particularly fond of his home in the city. He dreamed of roaming vast plains and crossing sparkling rivers, not to mention getting away from the honking cars and noisy crowds. Every night, before sleep, he would gaze at the stars and imagine himself on thrilling adventures. One day, while strolling through the park, Mavi spotted a group of children playing a game that looked like great fun. With a heavy heart, he turned and walked away. He longed to play, too, but felt too different to ever join them. As he trudged along, sadness filled his heart until he heard a small voice that said, "Hello." Startled, he turned around and saw a little yellow chick standing before him. It was Tiko. "I couldn't help but notice you looking sad," Tiko asked. "Would you like to be my friend?" Mavi hesitated, unsure if he should trust this cheerful chick who seemed full of sunshine, but something about Tiko's genuine smile made him feel at ease. So Mavi lowered his head and replied, "Of course, little chick, let us be friends." And from that moment on, the two became inseparable. They shared their dreams, their fears, and their love for exploring. One day, while strolling through the bustling streets of Istanbul, the two friends stumbled upon an old, weathered man sitting on a nearby bench. His eyes sparkled with wisdom and kindness, and his beard flowed down his chest like a silver waterfall. Intrigued, Tycho and Mavi decided to approach him and introduce themselves. As the three settled onto the bench, the old man began sharing stories of faraway lands, each more enchanting than the last. He spoke of majestic hot air balloons floating over ancient valleys, of delicious food and warm hospitality. But it was when he described the magnificent mosques adorned with intricate patterns and peaceful gardens by the water that Tiko and Mavi knew they had to see these wonders for themselves. Before long, the friends were standing in awe before the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, also known as the Blue Mosque. Its towering minarets kissed the sky and its blue-tiled dome shimmered like a precious jewel. They entered hand in hand, leaving their shoes outside. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of incense and the soft murmur of prayers. Sunlight streamed through the stained glass windows, painting the floor with hues of blue and green. Tycho and Mavi sat in silent reverence, soaking in the atmosphere of peace and tranquility. After the visit, they ambled along the shore of the Sea of Marmara, sipping glasses of sweet Turkish delight. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery colors, they made a plan to return home. But before they parted ways, the old man gifted them a traditional red cap and a pair of maracas, a musical instrument with a soothing rhythm. Then he gave them a big smile and said, "Until we meet again, my dear friends." And with that, he vanished into the crowd. As Tycho and Mavi approached home, they realized how much their adventure had changed them. They had experienced the warmth of the city, the magic of the mosques, and the kindness of strangers. And now they couldn't wait to explore more parts of their beautiful country. The next morning, Tycho and Mavi woke up before sunrise and hurried to catch the first glimpse of the hot air balloons floating above Cappadocia. The sight that greeted them was straight out of a dream. Hundreds of colorful balloons dotted the landscape, transforming the sky into a painter's palette. Overjoyed, they joined the other spectators, their hearts pounding with excitement when it was time for their hot air balloon ride. Tycho and Mavi were filled with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. As they rose higher and higher, Cappadocia unfolded beneath them like a magical carpet. They soared past towering rock formations, hidden caves, and quaint villages nestled in the valley. Tico's heart raced as the wind brushed against his feathers, and Mavi couldn't help but trumpet in delight as they floated above the clouds. But their adventure didn't end there. After landing, they embarked on a thrilling ATV ride through the rugged terrain of the Rose Valley. The wind whipped through their fur and feathers as they zoomed along dusty trails. Soon they stopped at a cave restaurant where they feasted on a delicious lunch of fresh pomegranate juice and delectable appetizers. On their way back, they paid a visit to an underground city, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers carved into the soft rock by early Christians seeking refuge. As they explored the underground city, Tycho couldn't help but wonder at the ingenuity and resilience of those who had lived there centuries ago. As the sun began its descent, they made their way to a cozy cave hotel, where they spent the night nestled between the cool stones, dreaming of their next adventure. The following day, they set their sights on the sparkling waters of the Aegean coast. The journey was long, but the friends didn't mind because they were eager to experience the coastal charm that awaited them. When they finally arrived, they were greeted by a sight that took their breath away. Crystal clear waters lapped at the sandy shores, inviting them for a refreshing swim. The air was filled with the salty temps of the sea and the sound of seagulls crying overhead. Excited, they wasted no time before jumping into the water. Tiko paddled along the shallows, delighting in the cool water between his toes, while Mavi splashed around, creating miniature whirlpools that tickled Tiko's sides. As the day wore on, they built sandcastles, collected seashells, and basked in the warm glow of the Mediterranean sun. In the evening, they found a charming beachside restaurant serving fresh seafood and crispy pita bread. As they dined, they watched the sunset over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange, purple, and pink. After their meal, they strolled along the moonlit beach, hand in hand, their hearts brimming with gratitude for their incredible journey. Looking back on their adventure, Tycho realized that the real treasure he had found wasn't a specific place, but the friendship he had forged with Mavi. Together, they had faced their fears, embraced new experiences, and created memories that would have lasted a lifetime. And so, as they continued to explore the world side by side, they knew that wherever they went, they would always have each other's unwavering support and companionship. Their journey across Turkey had been nothing short of extraordinary. From the vibrant streets of Istanbul to the mesmerizing landscapes of Cappadocia and the sunny shores of the Aegean coast, they had experienced the best of what their country had to offer. Now, as they gazed at the endless expanse of the sea, they knew their adventure wasn't over. There were still countless places to explore and stories to uncover. And with their friendship as their compass, they were ready to face whatever challenges and triumphs came their way. Whether they were sipping fragrant Turkish tea in the bustling bazaars or riding on the back of a friendly camel across the vast desert, Tycho and Mavi approached every experience with open hearts and curious minds. They learned about different cultures, sampled mouth-watering local cuisine, and most importantly, made lifelong friends along the way. As the years passed, their bond grew stronger. They shared their hopes and dreams, their laughter echoing across the ancient ruins and through the winding alleyways of historic towns. Through it all, they never lost sight of the values their parents had instilled in them. They remained curious, kind, and respectful towards others, embracing the diversity that made their world so beautiful. So as Tycho and Mavi continued their journey, hand in flipper, beak in trunk, they knew that the greatest adventure of all was the lifelong friendship that bound them together. For they had discovered that the true meaning of friendship lay not in the miles traveled together, but in the love, laughter, and kindness they shared along the way.